Hello, mayors. Hello, mayoresses. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. We're here to start another episode of Barbosa Cities. If you like this series, please leave your like here at the beginning of the video. If you're not subscribed yet, I ask you to consider subscribing as well, all right? We're here admiring the aerial view of our Asian island, right? Our eastern island, where in the last episode we worked on the back part of it, not the very end, because there's this little island here, the Fisherman's Island. But we built some suburban areas here and it turned out really nice, especially seen during this spring season. We still have the notification here about no vehicles, and now we only have 6 active vehicles, even though our garage can hold 18 vehicles, right? Where are the rest? The rest disappeared. I had set it to 8, then it went down to 7. Now it's already down to 6 vehicles. It seems like it's decreasing. I kind of don't know what's happening here. The worst part is that this big one, look, won't even fit here in this building anymore. I'll try deleting and adding it again to see how it turns out. Look, the vehicles we had on the line have all disappeared, okay? And we have to wait for them, the trams, to come out again. Oh man, no trams are coming out this time, huh? It's not a budget issue because here in the services section, our transportation is at 110%. I even increased it a bit. It was at 100%, but it seems like it got worse. Here, it's really weird. If you have any suggestions on what to do, right? So our line can get back to operating, right? Now there are no active vehicles, man. I'll try to redo the line. Done. Line remade from scratch. Let's see if any tram spawns now. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the bus lines here, okay? I renamed the bus lines here because we're going to need to pay attention to them. Okay, some of them are pretty crowded. We have the Asian Village one, right? From Asian Village to here, the Historic Village, with 117% usage, so I think it fits. Oh, it's already at maximum capacity. 18 vehicles on the line. We can't add more than that. The other line that's really crowded here is from the Historic Village to the village here, the Oil Workers one, which is also already at maximum capacity. The Asian Village to the Satellite Village is also really full, right? It leaves from this terminal and connects the suburbs and the industries. Well, that one too. We only have 6 vehicles on the line. There are some really crowded stops here. Look, 59, 55 people. I'm going to put 10 vehicles. Okay? So 4 more to try to reduce the crowding. Well, from Asian Village to Historic Village, we have this bus line and we have a rail that makes this connection, right? With the train, it leaves from this station and comes all the way here. But interestingly, people aren't using it much. Look, 17% usage, 284 people there are 2 trains. That's more than enough. And I think the reason this line isn't being used is because this station is positioned here, right? More in the suburbs of the city, while the bus line comes straight here. Look, it's going to the Porto terminal, so maybe a lot of people want to get to the city here in this more central area, right? After all, there's more demand, even to transfer to other bus lines, or even catch the ship here and leave the city through the port. So I'm going to make another connection between the 2 cities, this time by water. And here, man, we even already have the space reserved for this port, which is right here where this parking lot is. Sorry to the people who like to park their cars. But if it were in real life, for sure a piece of land used for parking would be chosen to house a building for public transportation infrastructure. I'm going to open our ferry tab here and place it, right? We need to have a place to put it. The ferry station, which is the depot, the warehouse, where our ferries will get maintenance and will be parked when they're not being used. And I'll tell you that on this coast, there isn't much space, okay? There will be some down here, maybe near the oil workers complex, the oil extraction area, and over here, well, it might get a bit complicated too. This bridge here, it opens. If we make a path here, maybe it will open. See that? So we could put the ferry station somewhere around here, but then I'd need to build a huge landfill. Hey, it works here. Look, it actually works here. Let's put it here, right? Okay, it's done. The location of our ferry station has an extra hall here to fit more ferries. But I think for now it won't be necessary. So should we draw the path here already or not? It's better to place our stops first, right? I want to stop right here, near the center of the Japanese island. So maybe if this ferry is located around here, it would be a good idea. This is the tallest building we have. The other 2 are ferry stops, kind of like a regular stop, and the ferry stop with a dock, which is even smaller. Okay, so we're using a terminal, which is the biggest one of all here in the historic village, right? We're gonna use it. I'm not sure if the ferry terminal as well. Man, I think it could be, okay? The only bad thing is that here we already have a waterway that prevents us from positioning it properly here. Maybe I'll even have to drain some of this water here to be able to position this point well. I'm going to remove everything here because it's a kind of advanced structure here, right in the middle of the water. So let's see if a ramp like this looks good, okay? I'm going to connect here then to this other main path of the port, an entrance and an exit. And then I'm going to take the opportunity to add a third point. We put the biggest one here, the medium one here, and the small one I'll put right here. Look, that's cool. You can put it directly here on the street dock that we have. Look, then the ship just docks here, the ferry just docks and leaves. And it's good that this pier already has parking. It has everything. And the canal runs underneath here. Look, it's shallow, right? It's not as deep as the ships. I had to sink everything here. We can't even see the corals, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and draw the route here. Starting from our warehouse here by the ferries, making this turn here and moving on. Look, right here in the middle of the channel, making the crossing here at this bridge, which luckily we had already made a drawbridge. Going around here at our fisherman's island, you can connect it here, look, with their route too, so the fishermen can use this passage here. Later. Actually, I think it's better to connect with this route here. Look, because from here we can go straight along this ferry path and already bring this connection all the way to this point here. By the way, where's the drawing of the route here? Ah, I forgot this type of terminal here. We have to extend a pier to cover both sides here. Look, with the stops. So that's what was missing. All right, let's go. I'll lay out the route straight through here for now and take the opportunity to make the connection here. For now, I'm only going to use one side, just this side of the pier, right? I'm not going to use the other one. There will only be one route, right? So I'll leave it like this and later bring it here. Look, to the historic village, right? The idea is to connect here. I wonder if this already goes straight there. Let me just do a quick test here. Oh, it does. It already connects, so that's good. And then, for the final route, I'll have to buy a few more squares here. There you go. It goes around Recife, right? Through Carrés and gets to our pier here at Vila dos Petroleros. Now I just need to draw it, right? So, the route, let's already make the way back from here, coming around the outside. Let's make a stop here at the historic village, then a stop here at the Japanese village, then the way back is done, finished. Here's the drawing, right? We can see here, look easily, that it's in a kind of turquoise color, and there it is. Let's see if the ferries are already leaving. They are leaving. Each one carries around 100 people. You don't even need to open that bridge over there, actually, and the game spawned here. 8 ferries, so that's 800 passengers. I'm going to leave it as default so we can see how this behavior will be, but I don't think it's going to be 800 passengers, no. Not for now, right? We'll see here how the usage is going to be. Wow, look at this sudden traffic here in these blocks. Man, could it be because of the ferry? Yeah, there are a lot of people coming here. I think it might even be worth having a bus line here to take people. Right? Even to the bus station here, right? I'll go ahead and add these stops and maybe even connect another bus line here. Yeah, this is kind of going to be a cross line here, you see? And if you don't understand me, what I'm trying to say with this new line is this. Okay, it's going to start here at the port and go through the bus station. By the way, that's the last available platform we have. From here, it's going to go out onto this avenue, take this alley, and stop here. Wait, doesn't this cross from here to there, or doesn't this intersection go all the way to the other side? Did I accidentally forbid going straight ahead? If I did forbid it, I'll remove it. But I don't think that's the case. I think the game just won't allow it, okay? I can force it to go through here by placing a waypoint, but I don't want it to enter here. Look, I think it's a bit congested here. So I'm gonna place a waypoint here on this street, right? As soon as it leaves the bus terminal, then another waypoint. Look, here, on this street, over here. Then it crosses to the other side, right? Forcing it, it'll go from here. We're gonna bring this bus here along this street up to this point. Then we have one more point up ahead. It's going to take this street here, which is a parking street, all the way to the end, where there's one more point, which is the last one. Before getting here at the train station, and then we're going to serve the train station. With the tram stop and the bus stop, this bus line won't compete with the tram line. So it's all good when coming back, right? He will take this turnaround here and will exit onto this street, where there's a stop here and will make the way back. Almost the same, right? This is a one-way street. You can't go down here, so he'll go down this street, then cross over to the other side, right? Since we don't have a platform here at the bus terminal anymore, I put a stop at the back part here on the block. But we have some walking paths. Look, people can easily access the bus terminal here, okay? So I put this stop here on the outside. After that, right, he will come back here to the ferry port and we will have a line, look, going around here along the coast, okay? Where is it? Will our future medium-density beach be here? Then he will take this street here, which is one way to leave, and we will have another stop here. Look, it's not a tram stop, right? The tram passes here, so we can't put it here to keep it integrated. So I had to move it a little to the side and left this distance so trams don't pile up. With the bus from here, right? The bus will take this triangular roundabout and will reach the final stop, which is at Fisherman's Island, right? For the people who live here, right? So the fishermen also have public transportation that takes them to the main points of the city, right? Here, the port, the beach, downtown, and the train station, route completed. There are already some people here, right? There's a lack of vehicles. I'll probably have to add another garage. We have a bus garage. Exactly, look right here. In this case, yes, all the vehicles are in use, so I'll have to add another garage. Now, we're right, we can turn this parking lot here into a bus terminal that adds 3 platforms here. I think that's a good idea, so I'll move this stop over here. Okay, and I'll remove this stop from the street and bring back the continuous bike lane. Now, the bus garage will be, look, there's a terminal, not a terminal. Terminal is, there's no compact garage, there's only the huge one. Well, since we have space here, maybe I'll put it over here, but I also think it wouldn't look good. A garage right here. I'll put it here in the industrial area anyway. It might be a bit far, but at least there's extra space here, right? I could even put an extra garage here, see? Just to prevent us from running out of buses. And here will be our Asian village via Porto Beleza. The game generated 13 vehicles here. There are 19 stops, 14 kilometers of route, and the station is already full. Look, 32, 30. This is the busiest station, which is the one that shares space with the tram. Right, it's the people from the suburbs. So that's good. I want to do something here around these tram stations too. Tram stations, not ferry stations. My head is already messed up. Let's see if I can do something here to have some fun. Look, I made a walkway here. I'm going to connect this piece of land over there. And then I even have to adjust this part of the dock a little bit, right? Here we don't need a dock anymore because there's no water. So I'm gonna remove it from here, and here too. Look, I'll remove it from here. It already removed it from both sides, but you can remove it from just one side. And here it's the same thing. And here we get something like an extension of this park, right? And then I'm taking a look at the monuments here, right? Here we have the lobster tail, a refined maritime environment where lobsters reign supreme. It's a restaurant, right? I think it would fit to stay here. You know, this is for tea. This could become a small gastronomic hub. What's this here? An award-winning gourmet restaurant. Man, I like the idea. I'm gonna make a gastronomic hub here. Right? Pretty cool for those who don't know. This LV here belongs to the content creator. Look, it's Lazur Venus, right? I wonder if he's French, and we should be putting it in a French setting, but there's a French content creator too, right? So it's okay to make some paths here around the restaurant to complement the square that was already here, right? Okay? Using the same textures and the same vegetation here to give this idea of continuity, right? Okay, it looks nice here. On this other side, I'm gonna continue this coastal park, right? Up to here, look, up to this part here, because here I'm gonna make it a beach, right? But up to here, look, I'm going to make this coastal gastronomic park because it also integrates well here with the ferry terminal, right? Will it be used? I'm going to try something a bit different here. Look, I'm gonna do it like this, kind of straight. Just like this right here, really straight. Nothing too curved in this part here, right at the edge of the park too. Something like that. Then I'm going to use alley streets actually to save space. Still alleys, not pedestrian streets. I'm going to draw a circuit here to see if this is where our restaurants will be located. Look, a tea room. I think I'm even going to extend a little bit here before making the tea room so we have more street here and can fit these buildings. Tea room, barbecue place, riverside spot. Oh, this one fits perfectly, man. It doesn't fit here, but I'll put it nearby because it really matches, huh? Riverside Barbecue. Here's a coffee shop. See how it is? I put this coffee shop. It should be on this street here, but man, it's really hard to place it. There, that worked. Barbecue, Riverside. We already placed the lobster one, right? It's already there. No, we put another one. The lobster, we haven't placed it yet. The lobster, I'll put it here. Look, there's a gelato place here. The ice cream shop will go around here, and a bar. Look, cocktails, a cocktail bar, donated kitchen. This one is really big. This one's huge. It fits here. Look, I'll put this one here. It's a lounge with live music. You have to have live music. Oh, it won't fit so well here. Unless I take this one and bring it over here to another corner and put the live music lounge here. Over here. Man, there's a club here too. Let me see, it won't fit. I'll put the club over here. Sunset Brewery. A brewery would be really interesting too, but we're already running out of space here, right? Yeah, I'll have to save the rest like the cinema, right? I'll have to save it. Look, there was still room for a coffee shop. There's a bowling alley here, but it won't fit anymore, see? I was still able to put a steakhouse here. I mean, a barbecue restaurant, right? And another tea room. All right, look, now you're going to ask me, Barboza, what's so bold about this? I don't get it. I'm going to take this path right here behind the establishments, and I'm going to make a walkway. It's even here. Look, I'm going to connect it here too. Look, this back part, right? I'm going to bring it over to this other side, right? I'm going to connect these two paths, all right? Look, it's done, and I'm going to connect it here to the front path as well. Here I can connect it too, right? These paths up to here, then the street. And now comes the bold part. I'm going to grab the terraforming tool and set it really small here because I'm going to create an entrance here. Look, with a stream, a creek, back here to let water in here, and we're going to form a channel. And then, right, this channel will come out here on this side, see? We need to turn this into a key here too, right? Put a wall both on the street and along the path on both sides. Look, the anarchy is turned off. I'm able to do this with anarchy turned off. This bike storage, right? It can go somewhere else, maybe over here, right? It can stay here and here. The walkway, look, it can be elevated here too, and this front part can also be elevated as a crossing. And the last one here too, on the outside as well. Look, it's all going to become a dock so we can open up a passage here. I'm going to use a pedestrian path. Exactly. Look, to mark a node here, both on this side and on the other side. Here to separate this segment, right? Turn it into an elevated one. And then I think we can even delete the path. Let's see. Yeah, it didn't turn out that well, huh? I'll try to do it individually here. Will it work? It worked. It worked. Look, it's all good. Just need to fix this part here. Now stick the water here to the wall, and in the back, there are a bunch of things that need fixing too. But it's fine, it's working out. Then we also stick the water here, and all right, we've reached the pit. This here is what's going to separate, right? The gastronomic complex from the beach here that we're going to have in the future. Let's hit play. Let's see if the water comes in and invades. So this space is, what do you think? Just finish it here with some vegetation, some rocks here. Look, we can make a triangular square, the square of the gastronomic complex. There are already a lot of people walking around here, so we can make a little square. I'm waiting for the water here to see if it's going to come out in this gap, right? I don't know yet because it hasn't come in yet, but maybe it will, right? Around here, I don't know. Maybe if I lower it a bit more here, it'll come in. I'm going to put a mixed density around here, Japanese style, to close off the area around here, right, around the square, and also remove some of these crosswalks. Right, and here, look, the water didn't go over to the other side, right? This part ended up too shallow here because this building is too close to this one, right? They're kind of big. What I'm going to try to do is this. I'll try to remove this passage here, move this one a little more to the side, and put it over here a little more this way. There, look now, that's it. Now, I can even widen this a little more here. Maybe I'll also add some trees along this street, at least on this side, to make it look nicer, more attractive. Well, there it is, guys, our gastronomic complex here, connected to the port, right? It looks good. I think it turned out really nice here. And it's better than making another beach, right? So everything doesn't look the same. Another park, there you go. A gastronomic complex. Several restaurants here with a canal, right? A canal here where people cross from one side to the other, right? And there's this extra leisure option here in the city. And look at how many people, leaving the port here, catching the bus. Let's see how it's being used, right? So we can wrap up today's episode. 3% usage. 96 passengers, man. I said it would never reach 800 passengers, but there it is, right? It doesn't look like there are only 86 passengers here. It seems like the usage is pretty good. 100 people arrived here and 100 people are coming in, so maybe it's just a matter of waiting a little longer here. Oh, this is the ship line. I was looking at it wrong. 447 people, 60% usage. Now, yes, now it matches. I'm happy. I'm happy that people are using our new line here. Look, for the bus, it's at 67% usage. That's okay too, right? 694 passengers, that's more than I expected too. And that's it. Man, we're going to have a beach here in the future, right? And one here too. Look, a big one as well. Well, here we have the street, right, that separates the island from the gastronomic complex. You can see the buildings over there, right? Here's the canal crossing, and here is a school, right? On this side, here's a school. Right in front, we have the square, and there are some restaurants here too, right, in the square. And now we're going to get a view of our port here from the ferry, right? There's another restaurant here. A lot of people pass through here. Look at how many bikes are parked. And here, look, the bus stops, right? And here are the people. Look, going to board the ferry, right? Over there, you can see the pier really well, and now let's go to the food complex, right? It's a little further this way. Unfortunately, we can't go down here. Not here, but over there you can go down, see? But not here. We're just observing. Look, it's a little corridor. There's a restaurant here, bike parking, another restaurant here. Look, imagine sitting here at the table enjoying the view, right? The weather isn't that clear right now, but we're going to go down, check out some things, but that's okay. There's another restaurant here with parking for those driving, but I don't recommend it. And over here, there are more restaurants, a promenade, and a coffee shop. This one is an ice cream shop, right? A well-known ice cream shop here in Barbacini, more tables here. Anyway, it turned out really nice here, really awesome. There's a side path here, look, with a view of the city's skyline, which is looking really beautiful, right? I want to thank Giovanni Freitas, Jose Fernando, Nagal, Pedro Mendez, and Rafuksho by name for being deputy mayors here, all right? They, along with our secretaries, are watching this video in advance one day before. So a shout out also to our secretaries and a shout out to you, who is a council member here on the A-Base channel, the pillar of this channel. Thank you very much. Without you, this channel would be nothing. That's why your name is appearing in the credits right now as a way of saying thank you. If you're not a member, but you're subscribed, you like, and you're always here commenting, thank you so much as well. A big hug. We're always together. And see you next time. See you.